So I want to start off tonight by asking all of you to close your eyes. Just for a second, think about a time in your life when you were so overwhelmed by so many things going on that it made you want to quit something. Now take a second to think, what if that thing you were quitting was actually you pursuing your graduate degree? I'm Mike. Tonight I'm going to inform you on something that might hit home to all of you. Now it's very easy for the reason why we go to graduate school, right? Obvious career advancements, average annual increase in pay. But a study done by the Council of Graduate Studies actually shows that 23% of students who enroll in graduate school wind up dropping out within the first 2 years. Think about that for a second. Now, obviously, there's a lot of reasons why for it, right? Stress, time management. And in citing this article, what they talked about was that the biggest reason was that work-school balance. They couldn't handle it. And I actually did 2 interviews by John and Brian, both a graduate and someone in graduate school, where they say the same thing. It's tough to have that balance involved. So there's an infinitive need to get a game plan underway when you're doing this. So tonight, together, I'm going to go with you 3 main strategies you want to incorporate when doing both. That's good timekeeping, good, efficient use of your resources, and a positive frame of mind. So the first one is about good timekeeping. Now, to cite a Harvard Business Review article that I read, it talks about actually a good thing that they talk about is to take your Microsoft Office calendar, actually integrate that with your day-to-day school calendar. So that way you're not doing something they call double booking. You have enough time throughout your day to set aside and get your tasks done. Also talks about keeping a clear and precise agenda, a to-do list. Things that are urgent, things that maybe you can push your way into the future. Things that they don't have to be addressed immediately. Also a good strategy would be that when you first start a class, you want to look at the syllabus and see maybe you have a lot of work on the back end. At that same time of day, maybe it's tax time. And you have a project due around that same time. So maybe you want to be proactive and do that work in the beginning of the class. Now, it can be hard because one thing hand in hand with time management is an efficient use of your resources, right? Your tools that you have at hand. And there's 2 things that are the best way to utilize your tools. The first thing is obviously your educational tools, right? And it's the easy things, like for a writer, have LexisNexis at your fingertips and the source of the library. Or with something as simple as just communicating with an open line of communication with our professors or the students in the class. And the second thing is your professional resources. Those things we do in graduate school are stuff that we use from real life, whether it be papers or research projects. So use your mentors or your or your bosses. Find out information from them that you can use. And the one interview that I had with John, he graduated and he used Microsoft Excel every day at his job. Essentially, he would incorporate as much as he can into his projects. Numbers, stats, statistics, charts. Another person I interviewed who's doing it now, he's in graduate school as he's working, he actually made a database at his job and then was able to use that for an outline in his statistics class. So stuff that you can use again in your school. Just use it as an example. Now there's going to be times where we don't have the time, and we don't have the right resources to get what we need done. It's going to be frustrating. That's the third thing, time management, or I'm sorry, not time management. The third thing is giving a positive frame of mind. And I want to take a step back and reference the most influential speech I've ever seen was something on TED TV, which was called Simon Sinek had an article or a speech about companies don't buy, or people don't buy what they do, but why they do that. That's the biggest thing that you want to reflect in your everyday life. Why are you doing this? It's not the end result that drives you, but why you're doing it. And I want to reference an article I read from the University of Washington. Their mentors, they reference them to keep their eye on the prize, right? That end result. Why are you there? Was it that certification, right? Maybe you always wanted to be a doctor, or your uncle was a lawyer and you want to be a lawyer as well. Also, at the beginning of the speech, we talked about the obvious needs to go to grad school. Right? That pay bump, that progression in your career. And also, when I interviewed John, he was funny. He talked about how he didn't want to burn himself out. So that's the second thing you can do in time management, preventing yourself from burning out. So he talked about he would kill himself during the week, get everything done. So his weekends were, quote, free to party and have a good time. So in conclusion, I just want to bring it back. 23% of students that actually go to grad school and work full-time wind up dropping out in the first 2 years. That's almost 1 in 4. At Rider University right now, everyone that's doing this, 1 in 4 might not make it. So therefore, there's a heavy need to make sure that you follow 3 simple rules to get your graduate degree done while working. That's following good timekeeping practices, an efficient use of your resources, and keeping a positive frame of mind. Thank you.